All right, what's going on, Legion fans? Welcome to another episode of the Bad Pod, where we talk all things Bad Batch. And man, they listened to us, man, because they picked up their game.
Finally,
Man,
my gosh,
all
it's
cylinders.
It's like they waited for for all of the things to go wrong, and then they were like, "All right, now we'll start doing all the stuff that people are looking for."
Right.
You know,
Everything in this episode was on fire.
it hit.
Like, everything
it hit
was good.
Exactly what we needed to be able to see. There were some big narrative pieces that needed to move forward. We needed to get some sort of traction on. I just wish we didn't have to beg for it to happen and then it moves forward. We get no, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 steps back.
Yeah.
With this show, it kills me.
Yeah, I'd rather
we're like dragging on it.
I'd rather it be fewer episodes.
Right.
Like, let's just have
right.
fewer. Let's do like a 10
less
episode
filler.
series
I would
and less
love
filler.
less filler. And the thing is, we thought from the beginning this is a 16 episode season. It's not 22, 23 like in Clone Wars. So we already thought this was going to be
pared down
less
a bit.
filler. And it hasn't been.
No.
But we finally have an episode that's really building some traction on a couple of big storylines that we needed to see move forward.
Yeah, and it's not, and we're not saying that we're not anti filler episodes, because filler episodes can help
sometimes be fun,
and they can build character development. But the problem
they
is
can set something up for the future.
These
that's perfectly good.
Like these filler episodes haven't seemed to build much.
Really. Not really.
And they might have characters that come back near the end, whatever, and those things.
Sure.
But when it comes to the important character development pieces, we really haven't seen that in most of the filler episodes in this series, and that's why they feel like they drag.
Yeah.
But we saw it in this one, man. Hunter stepped up.
Right.
We got to see that transitionary piece where he's like, he's kinda still holding on to his cautionary stuff, but he accepts.
He's trying
this
to
mission.
balance. He's trying to balance the difference between soldier and mercenary. Right. This was the crux decision he had to make.
Yeah.
Are we a mercenary or are we a soldier with our brothers?
Right.
And that was the difference in those decisions he had to make. And he weighed them.
Yeah.
He listened to everybody's opinion, and I don't even really think Tech was weighing in to be like, we should do this, but he was just trying to weigh in with the information and
give
the data
of
if we don't do the mission that Sid has us on, we're not going to get paid, we're not going to eat. Let's be aware of that. I don't think Tech really even was trying to pull for that to happen.
Right.
I think he was just making it clear these are our decisions. This is what we have to weigh.
Yeah, and in all honesty, that data is important because Hunter is still trying to figure out how to also protect his family.
Right.
You know,
his direct brothers.
Yeah, not just his brothers, but now his sister. And so even when they get to the planet and his decision of, Omega, you stay with Wrecker, because he knew Wrecker would protect her. And so he puts them together, and he had to make that call. And so he's still trying to figure it out.
It wasn't even just Wrecker would protect her. It was, Wrecker, you need to go because you are not stealthy, and we are about to sneak into this space.
Yo, man, you dropped a flashlight last time. You messed everything up.
You are a mess,
You're
sir.
you stay here.
You stay here, protect the ship, you're backup, all right?
And he was great backup.
Yeah.
Did you notice that when he came in as backup, they were all using stunner blasts?
No,
he just came in
firing.
and he just lit it up, man. He just knocked everybody out. Yeah, he was shooting.
He just wants to blow stuff up.
Yeah,
and kill
man.
People. That
it's
man
just so funny.
They're
all
the
whole way through. Even when they find out that the majority of the people on this base are not clones, they find out they're the TK soldiers.
Yeah.
They still use stun the whole time. Stun. And then Wrecker comes in and he's just like machine guns him down. It's like, all right, Wrecker's out for business.
He's worthless in the decision making.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good point. Well, he's got good point. Well, she's got good point. Sir, you are not helping.
We don't
right
pay
now.
you to think, Wrecker.
No.
Yeah. Well, so this episode brings in a lot of the points that we were talking about our last podcast that we really wanted to bring in. They bring Rex back right away, and he's got a mission for them on a remote planet with a target there.
That
is a clone.
I don't call it a mission. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you.
It's a rescue op.
Parameters. He gave up nothing.
He just
said, I need you to go to
distress signal,
planet.
Go.
It wasn't even this planet. He's like, I need you to go to this distress signal and save a person.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm giving you.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to run off.
Yep.
And I'll be in contact.
Yeah. Well, I want to know.
In contact again.
I want to know what he's running into. Like, what's
where
his trouble?
Is
he must have been in some kind of danger.
Yeah.
But and then we have Echo going in there and being like, we need to trust Rex.
I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
I really appreciated Echo's development in this. It wasn't even just that moment. So that moment was good.
Yeah.
But it was also the moment when they were about to give up on the mission because they didn't have enough intel, they didn't have enough background, they didn't have data. And he said, you guys came back for me, and I would not be here had you given up on that mission at that time.
Yes. So good.
We get some
Echo does something.
And we finally get he hits 2 powerful beats in this episode.
Yes.
It's great. And it also is building on, again, one of the storylines that we really needed to see, which is the Brotherhood.
Yes.
What is happening within the Brotherhood with the clones?
Yeah.
And then the second part of that, what is happening with the transition of power to what we're calling now the TK soldiers.
Right, and the Empire and what they're building. Before we jump into that, though, to backtrack just for a second, the target that they're going after, man, another quality start of the episode. Don't know where we are. In the middle of a jungle.
Right.
Clone is being chased by alien dogs.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, what is happening? And he gets captured.
Yes.
And it's like, you're on the edge of your seat. And then it cuts to the Bad Batch. And it's like, that felt like
much
Clone
better
Wars
start
at its
than,
peak. Yeah.
Let's go to Sid. Let's get a mission. And let's go to a planet.
Right.
Like, that
questions.
This is much better. Yes, I agree with you.
It felt like Clone Wars when Clone Wars was firing all cylinders. Like that's how those episodes start, and it gets you hooked right away, and then you're the whole time
you're immediately asking the question, who is that? What is going on? Why are they being chased? What you can tell they are a clone.
Right.
They are wearing stormtrooper armor.
Yeah.
You know some of the pieces that go into it, so you immediately think. I actually was like, is this the clone trooper on Ryloth? I was like, oh my gosh, are we going back to Ryloth again? But and it was fine. We didn't, but
was
it was
Hauser or even farther back? Was it cut from with the deserter? I mean, his hair wasn't right, but still, it was like, who is it? And also, like, where do I get one of those space dogs?
Yeah, I mean,
I need one. I
need that.
Protection.
My dog,
that thing's great.
Might as well be a cat.
Right.
So I need a much better dog. Yeah.
But so anyway, so it starts out just incredible, and the Bad Batch decide to go to investigate this, and that's where we see this shifting of Empire power, and we hear it again and again in this episode where they're like, the Empire's not the same, right?
No,
and the Kaminoans say it, and they're like, this Empire is very different than the Republic, right?
We see big shifts on a number of those points here.
Yeah.
So first is the shift with the clones to the TK soldiers.
Right.
So that is going back to that point. Like, we are now setting up for, okay, what is happening with this transition of power?
Right.
And we meet a clone who we've seen before who gives us
cool
a clear
callback.
Background and a clear understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, so this is a callback to a Clone Wars run that he was only in. It was either 1 or 2 episodes. It was a very short time that he was in Clone Wars. He came back in Rebels for a little bit of a longer stint, but so he's in Clone Wars. He is an elite commando. When he finally gets his armor back in Clone Wars, he's got kill marks like all over his armor. It's sick. Yeah. So he was in the Battle of Sarish, and he was wounded in that, and it gave him amnesia. And after that, he ended up getting transported to a remote planet where he became a dishwasher for a while. Forgot who he was. He knew his name, or he called himself Gregor, or was called Gregor by the guy who literally enslaved him on the planet. And then he's rescued by the worst, the most horrible, worst ever Clone Wars thing in the world. It's called D Squad.
Oh, my gosh.
It is It is this series of Clone Wars episodes, and you've heard me talk about
them,
where it is all about this group of astromechs and this little slug commander admiral dude who's like the most annoying thing ever. And it's just imagine R2-D2 talking to himself and this little slug guy for like 6 episodes of Clone Wars. It's terrible, and it just goes on and on and on and on. And the only good part about that series was Gregor. So Gregor was the only good part about that series, and we assumed he died at the end of it, getting them off the planet. He remembers who he is, and he does this sick op where he like gets them off the planet, and he's surrounded by droids, and he's probably dead. And you have to wait. We had to wait for years and years and years until Rebels brought him back as an old man. Rex had found him. We learned in Regals. We learned in Rebels that he trained TK soldiers, and that then he left that and joined Rex and to fight against the Empire.
To be fair, let's quote unquote he trained TK soldiers, right? I mean, he's
right. He makes a good comment here.
So he talks about right off the bat, like they do a great job of, while they're being chased, building an understanding of what he's doing there, and what this outpost is for. Right. So I mean, right off the bat, they recognize the designation, or they don't.
They recognize it as something new.
TK soldiers. They have no idea what that is. There were 50 regs and then 1,000 TK soldiers.
Yeah,
and they were like, don't know what that designation
is. Stormtroopers.
And so, you get clarity from Gregor that he is there to train these TK soldiers who have come from all over the galaxy to enlist in the Empire's army.
Yeah, they want to fight for the Empire.
He makes it clear there's an endless supply of them, but they are not as skilled.
Right.
And his training, he says, I'm not teaching them everything.
He's like, I'm not stupid.
Right,
but he does mention that they are their replacements. That
they are their replacements.
He is literally training them to supersede the clones.
But we finally get a clarity around like what happened with the stormtroopers when the clones were amazing, and the stormtroopers can't hit water if they fell out of a boat.
Hey man, cheaper and numbers.
But that was the point. There is an endless supply of them from all over the galaxy, and there are clones who will train them, but they're not getting trained as well, and so they aren't as good. We saw that in this episode.
But
we saw numbers, but we did not see
they
really great shooting.
But I will say the numbers worked, because if you look at this, they overran the Bad Batch, not because the Bad Batch were picking them off over and over and over again.
Right.
But there were so many of them. There was a few that were better than others. But the fact of the matter is, the reason, and we'll get to it when we talk about the end of the episode, but the reason the episode ended the way it did was because they were overrun by those early generation TIE fighters.
You're exactly
there were
right.
so many of them, they couldn't get under their feet again.
It wasn't just the TIE fighters; it was then Hunters overrun on the ground.
Yeah, with all the soldiers.
There's
too many.
Their initial escape route was blocked because of so many soldiers.
There's too many.
They are going with pure numbers, not skill anymore, in terms of how they're going to run the galaxy.
Well, and we've talked about that before, that the Emperor and Vader, they don't care how many die. Like they have no, and we actually talked about this before we started the podcast.
Yes.
We were like, man, it's so dumb that the stormtroopers wear like all white armor. They can't blend into anything.
I it
just makes
get
no
the
sense.
Power move. I get the
but
power
it's the power
look.
move. They don't care.
It's the power move.
They don't care.
100%.
They're like, shoot us. We don't care. We're gonna win anyway.
It's never made sense to me. I gotta go on this armor tangent for just one
second.
Do it.
I love armor tangents.
The armor is pure white.
Yeah.
It blends in nowhere.
Okay.
Except
snow.
But then they change the only place where they change their armor is in the snow.
They wear off-white
They wear
robes.
off-white, gray. It doesn't make any sense. So they don't blend in anywhere.
No.
And then number 2, like the Bad Batch blends in everywhere. They look great.
Yeah, they're like blacks and reds and grays.
They were in camouflage the entire episode.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere they went, it looked great. They were really sneaking around like it was an actual stealth mission.
Yeah, for sure.
But the other thing I read online was a fan theory around the Stormtrooper armor.
Right, why they are the way they are.
Yeah, exactly. We've always said like stormtrooper armor is like paper mache.
Tissue paper, man.
It's like nothing.
Nothing.
However, somebody debated online that the stormtrooper armor is actually incredibly powerful.
Okay.
And their rationale was it actually dissipates the blast.
Yeah.
So like you look at rebel armor. When they get hit with a blaster, they are done. They're dead. They're not getting up.
Right, right.
However, you know, we don't see those marks on like stormtrooper armor in the same way.
Okay.
And
yeah.
So there is a theory, and again, this is a fan theory, that the armor may render the person unconscious from the blast.
Sure, the
but
shock
it will
knocks them out.
dissipate the actual blast
Okay.
so that it doesn't kill the person wearing it.
Yeah.
It just renders them unconscious, knocks them down, knocks the wind out of them, whatever it is, but it still protects the person.
Okay.
So there's this theory out there, and we saw a little bit of this. We saw a little bit of this when the Bad Batch was firing the stun shots at the one commando that seemed like a juggernaut.
Right, he was nuts with those yellow stripes on his armor.
So he took multiple blasts before going down.
Yeah.
So it lends itself to that theory that maybe and the Bad Batch even refers they got upgraded armor. So
right.
if that Stormtrooper armor is better than Clone Trooper armor and even the Bad Batch's armor, one tends to believe then that it might be actually pretty amazing armor that dissipates blasts and protects the person wearing it.
Well, then what you need is Boba Fett's customized Tusken Raider spear.
Oh yeah, I mean,
because take that to the face and then through the chest and you're done.
That's over.
I mean,
that's
it's
over.
Done. That's all the Bad Batch needs to get.
Right, but the reality being, this army is now being built on pure numbers, not quality. It's quantity, not
over
quality.
And they're formidable.
And that's what they're going for. They are formidable. Yeah. So that's what we see in this episode play out. Quantity, not quality.
Right. We also see Rampart becoming much more like he's. I feel like he's. So we saw Tarkin. I want to say level him up, but he what is it? He promoted him.
He promoted
him. Yeah. Why don't we call it leveling up? Like if my job was like, you're going to get leveled up if you do this, I want to do it so much more then. Right?
I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
It's kind of cool, right? Yeah, anyway, so he promoted him.
Maybe we'll make that
change.
You change
that?
Work.
All right.
Yeah, I'll consider that change at work.
I'm a level 16. Anyway, so he promotes
there are actual organizations that have that. Like I don't know if they call it leveling up, but they have different what's called levels.
Sure, like a different tier.
I literally talked with Andy the other day, and he's like, we have these different levels at work,
cool.
and they work their way through these levels. Yeah.
Well, I want experience points, and I want potions, and I want. If we're gonna go the leveling up factor, I want all those things.
Now,
like when you get called in for a level up, I need to have to drink from a goblet.
Drink from a goblet. There needs to be lights
kind of lights
up that spin around
maybe
you.
Maybe a little some dry ice.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep.
I'm sure there was for Rampart.
Upgraded armor.
You get
armor. Upgraded weapons.
I don't even have armor. I'm at the lowest
You're
level.
Real low.
I just started. Anyway, so we see him get promoted by Tarkin,
and he runs with it.
But this episode in particular makes me think that Tarkin is giving him more and more command over how the Empire is shaped in this.
Yep.
Because his talks with the Prime Minister of Kamino and just like his decision of he makes the call. Spoiler, he terminates the Prime Minister. He's like,
he did.
I need the scientists because we know cloning becomes a big thing for the Emperor.
Yep.
So he's like, I need the scientists, but the
you could be
politician,
useful. You're not.
We don't need you anymore. And he leaves and closes the door with the guy with blasters.
That guy's
so
dead.
He's dead.
Dead.
That's cool. Not that he's dead. That's not that cool. But it's cool that Rampart is stepping into that. He's becoming the suit. Like he's becoming like that high up boss.
You see very clearly Tarkin in him. Even his mannerisms are very Tarkin-esque.
Yeah.
Like
cold, clinical.
Yep.
Right. He doesn't have the sunken eyes yet, but he'll get there.
But I mean, he's a mini Tarkin.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
really what he is. He's cold, calculated. He was a lot more. If you remember at the beginning of this season, he was a lot more energetic.
He was kind of chipper.
Now he's just straightforward.
You know what?
Sharp. Even when things didn't go his way on Ryloth,
right?
He didn't panic. He didn't blow up. He didn't get upset.
Yeah.
He was just, this is what you're going to do now. I may have underestimated. You're now going to do this.
He's probably had a few Force lightnings, like therapy.
I don't know if it's Force lightnings or he just got some chokes. He may have gotten some chokes in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, some chokes.
He probably got choked a few times.
Yeah, from ancient religions?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, man. Those are the best kind of chokes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we see
him, yeah.
We see him move forward also the Kamino storyline.
Yes,
Kamino,
that's what I was going to bring up. So
Kamino
good.
is looking to now evacuate. Their contracts have all of a sudden been terminated.
Gone.
They are no longer of use to the Empire. They've made the full decision to transition to the TK soldiers.
Right,
They're not going to use clones anymore. And, the scientist makes a point of like, well, people know our services.
Right.
I'm sure we
Other
would be
place
useful
in the
to someone.
galaxy.
Except the Prime Minister is right. Like, no, we are not going to be allowed by the Emperor to do that anymore.
Yeah, for
because
other people.
Who's going to commission? Or why would they allow any sort of commissioning of an army against their own?
Right.
That wouldn't. They're not going to fly.
Yeah. Well, and as we know from like further Star Wars lore, you know that the Emperor is going to tuck all those cloners like into his use only.
Yep.
So
back pocket them.
Yeah. If the Kamino cloners, and we know from like even just Disney Plus shows, we know from like The Mandalorian that it's not just Kamino residents, Kaminoans that are cloners. There's other cloners too.
Yep.
So if they don't cooperate, then he'll take what he needs from them and gets rid of them and use somebody else. Yeah. So
in a massive galaxy, there's always somebody else.
Yeah. So
there's always somebody else to replace you.
So what you're saying though is that you don't think the Prime Minister was leveled up? Like you don't think that wasn't the meeting
down.
in there? They weren't closing the door.
Yeah. He didn't
get the goblet.
Up. Nope. No.
Poor guy, man. He would look good with like
great
dry ice and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would have been great. Well,
yeah, so we get that.
Super cool. Yeah.
We get that storyline too. And then finally,
in
the end, we get Crosshair back.
Man. Well, yeah, and we get another one of those. I think I remember, and I think this was the time. Correct me if I'm wrong. I remember previously in the season, you getting that gut feeling when Cad Bane got thrown off the railing when Fennec threw him off the railing. Well, I got that again when Hunter made that jump for the ship when they're trying to escape the planet.
I knew he wasn't going to die.
No. I knew he wasn't going to. I was pretty sure he wasn't going to die, but I want him to make it. And he didn't make it.
No,
man.
but
he was so close.
That was great for
and like
me.
the camera followed him off the side.
It.
Oh, it was perfect. Oh, I wouldn't have won it any other way, but it's still like I went because he jumped and the camera like went with him.
Yeah.
And he landed on the freaking landing pad on the ship, and then he slid off and and fell. Man,
I know.
What a good move.
Yeah,
all the Bad Batch to be left behind. What a good move.
Well, and I mean, such a sacrifice play. To send them away, knowing like you're not getting back.
They would have all died.
They would have all died.
Yeah.
They would have all died, or would have all been captured. And now Crosshair only has Hunter.
Oh, but he's happy.
But nobody says that. Nobody says that.
Yeah,
he
wanted the
rather
whole.
Had all of them, but I will settle for you.
Yeah,
you'll do.
Ooh.
And so, but now you know what's happening. We're going to set up for a bait.
Yeah.
A baiting.
Oh, they're going to come for him.
Oh, yeah, they're going to
come for him.
But
Hunter's going to be like, don't come for me, and they're going to be like, we're going to come for you
Here's
anyway.
what I believe is going to happen.
Yeah,
hear me out on this.
Let me hear it.
I think, so now they're going to go, we've got 2 episodes left.
Yes.
Okay, here's my
2 more.
This next episode is the planning episode to rescue Hunter.
Yes,
okay?
Agreed.
So they're going to go meet up with Rex.
Yes.
They're going to go meet up with Rex, deliver Gregor, and all of them are now going to plan together. Guess who's coming back at full circle?
Who?
Fennec.
Ooh.
Fennec is coming back in here, who we haven't seen in a while since the Cad Bane episode.
Yeah, it's true.
So now Fennec comes into play, and we put together this super squad again to be able to go and rescue Hunter.
Does maybe Rex or Gregor? I would actually expect Gregor, since he's been in kind of the outer planets, and maybe Gregor hires Fennec to help them. He's like, we need some more firepower. I know this great upstart. I'm going to hire her to come help us.
Maybe, but I actually don't think it's that. I think it's now the Empire has the scientists hired
so
Fennec.
she calls them, and then they meet in the middle.
Yep.
Okay,
exactly.
yeah, that makes more sense. That's more organic. You're right.
That's what I think is happening here.
That's more organic. I like that.
Yeah. So, because
man,
Cad Bane was hired by the Prime Minister.
Right.
That's gone now. That's the Prime Minister's gone. I don't think Cad Bane's involved in. We'll probably see Cad Bane down the road.
Yeah,
again.
maybe.
But
I wouldn't be mad if we never did.
Right.
He was
exactly.
Great.
He did what he had to do for the time period he was in it.
Yeah.
But my point is, Fennec, I believe, is coming back in because of the scientist.
Yeah. I hope so, man.
So we get our planning episode,
yeah,
and then our rescue episode, and we're correct in the fact that this is going to be more than one season. We're going to have multiple seasons.
There's no way it
Batch
wraps up in this little bit. Yeah, I hope. Well, I mean, I guess we don't really know. The Bad Batch are all kind of up in the air who survives. Because I was if they bring Rex, Gregor, and Fennec, I'd be like, that's kind of lame because we know all three of them live.
Right.
But it's not that lame because we don't know if any of the Bad Batch live, however long they ever live. Like,
it's very true. We don't see them in
we
Rebels
could literally, dude, they could literally, Crosshair could just kill Hunter in front of all of them.
He could.
And then they could stop him.
He's not going to.
And we wouldn't we have no ties to these Bad Batch. They could be any of them are fair game.
I mean, we assumed from the beginning of this was going to be a Rogue One.
Yeah, they're all going to eventually die. Yeah. So who's gonna die first season? All right, so let's do that. So we got 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
Which of the Bad Batch, besides Crosshair, because I know we both talked about Crosshair could die at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Who do you think, if any, of the Bad Batch will die this season?
I don't think any of them do.
Really?
I honestly don't think any of the Bad Batch die this season.
I think Echo dies.
You think Echo dies?
I think Echo's going to die.
I don't think so.
I think Echo's going to die.
I just don't. I don't think they're going to kill anybody off this season.
Oh, I think they will.
Except maybe Crosshair. They may kill off that storyline, but I don't.
One of them are going to go, man.
No, because they're a team. And here's the thing: if you start picking off people on the team, who are you replacing them with? Like it's like the Crosshair is getting eliminated. We could see Fennec join in here and be a part of the Bad Batch team for this is what she did for this period of time.
Right.
That could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I doubt that. I doubt that that's going to happen.
No, I don't think she'll be a continuous character.
We've now developed them as a team without Crosshair. So my point
being, we've gotten to know all of these. Crosshair was okay to lose because we didn't really know him.
Omega's going to grow like Ahsoka throughout the series. We're going to see more of that. But I don't think they lose anybody.
Okay. All right. My money's on Echo.
That's a good bet.
Sorry, Echo.
It's a good bet. If anyone's gonna, if they're gonna kill off any essentially non-essential person, it's gonna be
poor Echo.
Echo. Yeah.
If they're gonna pull heartstrings, it's either Hunter or Wrecker.
But they're not gonna kill.
What
Hunter.
if
they're
Hunter?
Not gonna kill Hunter.
What if Hunter dies?
Nobody carries
an
episode. Nobody carries an episode. Like Hunter.
Yeah, I don't think
Omega.
Hunter.
It's not
would.
Hunter.
What about Wrecker?
Wrecker, I could see.
Wrecker could die.
And
that would be the heart. That would be like the heart.
Because
he's the brother. He's the big brother.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. If they killed Wrecker,
yeah,
that would be a real bold move.
It would be.
I believe Wrecker. If they're going to carry on this, I honestly still my belief is I don't think anybody dies this season.
Okay. Yeah.
I think maybe they kill one of them off in a very heartstring pulling way. Wrecker would be the one to go maybe before the series ends.
Sure.
But I just think it's too early to kill anybody off.
If there's a whole other season coming up.
Especially if they're going to do another season, and especially because of the fact that we've gotten a lot of filler episodes this season. They haven't really developed characters the way they needed to. Had they developed characters better throughout this season, I could see them killing somebody off.
So you want to get to know them more.
If you have not watched other series, if you didn't watch Clone Wars, you have no real character development of any of these guys really yet. You really don't. The only one is Hunter.
A little bit
and
about Hunter.
That's it.
Yeah.
All of the others, they've been poorly developed to this point.
True.
I don't. If
they're
going
cookie
to kill,
cutters.
if they're going to kill somebody off, I'm not going to actually feel. If this is all I've watched, is jumped in on Bad Batch. I'm not going to feel like that really downtrodden. Other than Wrecker, but that's me personally.
Right. Yeah.
But I just don't see it happening.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And I think it'd be really honestly, if I'm sitting there and I'm Dave Filoni, I think it'd be really unwise. I just don't see Dave Filoni sitting there and being like,
to knock one off first season.
No. Yeah. I think Dave
except
Filoni's
for maybe
smarter
Crosshair
than that. Yeah, except for maybe Crosshair.
Yeah.
I could see them knocking off Crosshair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I could see Crosshair like breaking through his chip and letting them go. And Rampart finding out
Rampart
and Rampart killing him. That I could see.
Or Vader killing him.
Oh, I mean,
out of betrayal.
Oh my gosh, let Vader show
up. Let Vader
show
Can we get a Vader?
Can I
in these
get
last 2
episodes?
Just a little bit.
All right, but my point being, I don't think they're going to do that because I think they've set up Rampart as the main villain.
I know.
So if they set up Rampart as the main villain, I think Rampart kills Crosshair when Crosshair betrays Rampart.
Or Vader shows up when Rampart fails. And
that'd be great,
and
too.
he kills Crosshair in front of Rampart.
That would be
and
great.
he'll just be like, it's you next time.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be
sick.
Great.
That'd be great.
Don't choke on your aspirations.
But then we'd have to recognize
this
is going to be a lot longer than even 2 seasons because if we're setting up Vader as the big bad, then they haven't even dealt with Rampart as even like the stepping stone to the big bad.
Vader wouldn't have to be the big bad, but we know he's out there. We know he's, we know
he
he's
doesn't actually need
he's
to be
like
the big
when you
bad
get sent to the principal's office.
But I'm looking
That's him.
I want somebody to come out of this like Thrawn.
Yeah, sure.
Like Thrawn came out of Rebels, and you're like,
yeah, he was great in Rebels.
He was amazing.
Yeah, but again, he did a lot in Rebels, and we're probably going to get him in the Ahsoka series. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll. I'd rather if they're going to go with somebody.
But I want somebody new to feel that villainy, to feel that power.
Oh yeah.
Like,
so I'd rather it be
the Emperor
Rampart then.
And Vader.
Yeah.
And then there's like after that, I would say like you got Tarkin. Right, as well. Who are the well-known evil figures?
Right, and then Thrawn.
And then Thrawn.
Yeah,
I might even put Thrawn and
Thrawn
Tarkin,
above Tarkin. Maybe.
Yeah. But then I want somebody to kind of elevate to that level, and like I want to see somebody come out of this that way, and I just don't know.
If that's the case, I kind of hope it's not Rampart. He's just a little too like generic pasty.
His evolution though would be awesome.
He could.
Him evolving to that place would be amazing.
Yeah,
he has potential.
As cold-hearted as
Rampart has potential.
Yeah.
To be that cold-hearted.
Yeah, that's true. He just needs to make sure that if Crosshair dies, he gets another right-hand man that can go kill people for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, we got 2 episodes left, and we got some good stuff to work with now.
Thanks for listening to the Legion of Comic Correction. Don't forget to check out our other episodes streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts. We're also on the major social platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Legion of Comic Correction.
That's right. And make sure to check out our Patreon for exclusive supporter specials at patreon.com/legionofcc. New episodes come out every Monday.
And Wednesdays.
No, just Mondays.
And Wednesdays?
I don't think we can do Wednesdays.
We can do Wednesdays.
All right, Mondays and Wednesdays. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place, same Legion.